So I'm going to make this video and you all get to hear my voice this time. So we'll see how this goes. This will be my first time doing this. So while I'm going to be doing some drawing, I've got a light table here. I'm going to be talking first about the stick. That's what I'm going to be drawing out. I'm going to briefly mention Yellowstone, Jack, Mike McDonald, and Dan Barbarosi, and Forrest the pilot. Several things I want to talk about. You know, when you're in these chats, you don't get, your voice doesn't get heard very well. And if you're not on a panel, you don't get heard. So with that being said, I've decided to start doing some of my own videos. And I'm going to play around with that and hopefully get better at it as I go along. So thanks for your patience. So while I'm going to be doing these drawings, I'm going to be talking about starters for Yellowstone. A lot of people seem to think it's still in Yellowstone, and I've kind of ruled out Yellowstone, and my reason for that is we've heard from some searchers, prominent searchers, that Forrest had gotten pressured by Yellowstone to stop the chase, pull it, whatever you want to call it. And as far as we know, Forrest didn't do that. And why did he not do that? Well, one logical thing would tell you, because it's not in Yellowstone. Why would he pull something when it's not in Yellowstone? So that's kind of the logic I have come to, that it's not in Yellowstone. I don't know how you all feel, but that's just the conclusion that I've come to. As far as Jack goes, I don't take much weight into what Jack says. And the main reason for that is he puts the article on the Medium after Forrest passes away. Granted, he didn't know when Forrest was going to pass away, and I get that. He had no idea. Nobody did. But why couldn't he have done it before the finale, knowing that was a big weekend? He could have easily done that. He could have easily showed up. You know, I mean, any of us would have found the treasure. Ooh, it'd be hard to keep it quiet. Forrest said the person who finds it is not going to be able to keep it quiet. So, like I said, I don't take much weight into what Jack says. It's just a little, the whole thing's a little fishy. And then when you throw in Mike and Dan, this Mike McDonald guy is the one that offered $10,000 to anybody who could deliver the finder to him, because he didn't believe the treasure was out there anyway. So, you know, the story goes, Jack releases his story on the Medium as the finder. Dan picks up on it. Dan is able to get a hold of him by backdoor email situation. Don't know about all that, but anyway, it is what it is at this point. So Dan delivers Jack to Mike. He pays Jack $10,000. He offers Dan $10,000 for finding Jack. Dan turns it down, gives it to Jack. So now Jack's up $20,000. Why would Dan give Jack $10,000? an extra $10,000 when, if he's the real finder, he's going to have plenty of money when he auctions off this chest like he says he's going to, or divide it up in an auction in different pieces. So I just find it a little odd that these three characters are possibly in cahoots with each other. Mike's already admitted to knowing Dan. Now, how well he knows Dan, I don't know. But he just thought it, he mentions it in his Twitter feed. So, like I said, Jack gets $10,000 plus another $10,000. Dan doesn't want it. Dan washes his hands of it, kind of, sorta. Has a few interviews. And he only does that, my opinion is, because he's got a book deal. Well, lo and behold, the book release date is 1 day and 1 year after Jack supposedly met with Forrest on June 7th. So the book release is June 8th, 2021. I don't know about you guys, but to me that's, it's all just a little fishy. So that's where I stand on those three guys. Then I want to talk a little bit about Forrest the pilot. Some of you know this, some of you don't know. But I had put this together. I don't know if you can see it. Let me get my book out here. So I've drawn this up. It's a pilot's compass. You got your 0 degrees, 90, 180, 270, and we're back to 360, 0 degrees. So June 5th is what we've been told. Jack contacts Forrest, says he found the treasure. Do I have explicit permission to retrieve it? Forrest says yes. Jack goes back on June 6, 2020. Jack retrieves the chest. Oh, here's something else about Yellowstone. So Jack says he slept in. He wasn't in any hurry. But I've been through the east gate of Yellowstone. And that's a long drive through there. If he slept in, let's say he slept in till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Then you've got at least a 2.5 hour drive in there, maybe a 2-hour drive, depending on where it was at in there. And he's got to come back through there. So now you're after lunch, definitely after lunch, 1 or 2 o'clock. Then he starts heading down to Santa Fe. I mean, yeah, he's supposedly spent the night somewhere. And here's the other thing. Why can't Jack tell us where he stayed in Colorado? What difference does it make? We're not going to figure anything out by that. And in the pictures, I mean, none of Jack's story adds up. That's why I don't hold any weight to what Jack says. Okay, back to this. So on June 7th, 2020, Jack meets with Forrest. June 7th. Let's go 90 degrees. The fin finale at Yellowstone, September 4th to the 6th, 2020. Forrest passed away on September 7th, 2020. So we've got June 7th, September 7th. Let's go to 180. We've got some chatter that weekend. There's maybe some information coming out. And here's another thing. Certain people are privileged to certain information. That's okay. I'm okay with that. But it's being withheld for some time. But that's a different story. So then the finder comes out. The person from the medium is Jack Stoof, on December 7th, June 7th, September 7th, December 7th. So the next mark, somewhere around March 7th or on March 7th. And we're up to 270 degrees. Then we'll go a full year to 360. It's funny, June 7th, 2020, and then you've got June 8th is when this Dan Barbarossa book is supposed to come out. I don't know if it holds much water, but I'm sure not going to buy the thing. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about Forrest, the pilot, on this, because I think what's going on here is awful telling. I mean, these dates are exactly on target. And oh, by the way, so I'm going to try to leave my comments turned on. My other videos, I took down the comments, and the reason why is because I had a link show up in one of my comments that took you to some explicit website. So I had to remove my comments to keep people from being hacked or me being hacked. So I will try it on this video to leave my comments up just to get some input from everybody. Like I said, this is my first time. I appreciate it. I don't even care if it's mean comments. I'm thick-skinned. I'm okay. I'm a big boy. Remember, I was 55 on 6/6/2020. Pretty interesting, huh? Anyway, now that I've finished these drawings, I'll stop rambling now. I just wanted you to see the similarities between these. Hopefully you can see these pretty good. But pretty amazing how these are pretty interesting. Key. So that's my take on the stick. I think it's very relevant. And if I might add, if you finish off this, what does this look like? I'll leave it to your imagination what that looks like. We'll see if it looks any better here. So I know what I think that looks like. If you finish this out. Anyway, thank you for watching. Leave a comment if you want to. Be interesting to see what you all have to say.